series is consistent with other series of works that you've produced, and it's all about reoccurring themes of integrating the public and the private. It's going to be exhibited at the State Library of New South Wales in June. Can you talk to us a bit about that?
Nikki, I suppose that I'm rather fascinated by the outer shell of people and the inner self and the contrast between the two. And that's why I've been really interested photographically in portraying people in various different types of clothing, various different environments, and then trying to capture the inner person. So to me, it's an opportunity to explore how that outer shell protects the person, hides the person, and perhaps penetrating it to get at the real person underneath. I've really chosen an area that is so different to anything that I've ever photographed before, so far removed from the people that I've done portraits of in the past. I mean, I've done hordes of portraits of artists, of photographers, of musicians, of lawyers, but I've never photographed a group of footballers. So this was an opportunity to do something totally different. And I think that by pushing myself out there, it develops my photography. When I started this project, I had no idea how I was going to go about photographing a footballer, an NRL player. So it was something that I had to invent as I was going along. And because it's so unfamiliar, you're reinventing yourself in a way. I think that just doing a project, setting yourself a task, pushes you into areas that you just have no idea where you're going to end up.
Now, with Onside with the NRL, what do you seek to evoke from your audience?
What I'm hoping to evoke from them is surprise. I hope they will think, I've never seen a shot of a footballer like that. I mean, this is totally different to the shots that you see of footballers on field, of footballers in the locker room. They've got other aspects to their lives. You can feel how passionate they are about them and how important those activities are in their lives. So that's really what I want to convey, how multidimensional these people are. A lot of them were very warm people, easy to talk to. There were one or two who had very healthy egos, I must admit. I think actually the percentage of them was a lot less than what you'd find amongst barristers. In fact, most people who are at the top of their game tend to have healthy egos. It is definitely an act of intimacy when you photograph someone, and I think that develops a link between you and the person. You feel as though there's a connection between you and them, and I suspect they will feel the same about me.
And do you think your prosecutor's eye and your artist's eye fuse together?
Look, when I'm a photographer, I try and put the prosecutor's side completely behind me. It uses the other side of my brain. So that's why I think it's so valuable to me as a person, that develops that other side, the artistic side. You're trying to analyse situations, to understand situations as a lawyer, so that you can convey them to other people. As an artist, as a photographer, I'm trying to capture something about the inner workings of a person and convey it to other people. So there is a similarity. This is a shot of Dean Hallertau, an NRL player, who is an ambassador for the RSPCA. And the reason why I like it so much is that it's a very natural shot. It shows something that was really happening. It wasn't put on in any way. I always say that your equipment is the least significant part of the technique. It really helps to know how to use it really well and to be totally familiar with it, so that when you see something that you want to capture, you can just instantly know how to go about it. I like this setup because Joe the footballer is kind of looking at Joe the shearer in a kind of amused sort of way. I couldn't help thinking that really Joe the shearer is a very real person. He's a quintessential Australian. When I explain to them that I'm actually going to take photographs of you in your ordinary clothes and in your football gear, and then I'm going to combine them electronically, you could see them do a bit of a double take.
So you like the idea of this double meaning, and you've continued on with that idea with Onside with the NRL.
Yes. In fact, the very first image that I took was the one of Mitch Rain. The one of him as a footballer is him hanging from a shower, a very sculptural shower, doing some chin-ups. And then the other one is him as a surfer washing down his surfboard under the shower. And I called it Doppelhanger, which is a word play on the German word Doppelganger. A Doppelganger is an identical person to a live person, but it's a spiritual double. As a footballer, he was kind of hanging doing these chin-ups. As a surfer, you talk about hanging five.
Yeah.
So there was this double hanging, but it was also the double person. And then I thought, well, really, it would make a good title for the whole exhibition rather than just that image. But then we decided to go with
Onside.
stayed on side with the NRL.